been like for you switching over to safeties?
It's been a great transition. Get a chance. I mean, I knew those guys before, but just get the chance to coach them has been really fun. It's a great group of guys, and just been really good. You know, just working with Coach Haycock for 6 years now. I mean, I knew how the techniques that he taught, the type of things he taught those guys, and so it's just been a really smooth transition. Just because I've been working with him so long and under his tutelage.
What obviously a lot of accolades for Greg Eisworth last year. What's his ceiling even? Because it seems like he can take it up another big step.
Yeah, it's been his first year just really playing. You saw what he can do out there in the first year. And the great thing about Greg, he really wasn't satisfied at all with the type of year he had. You know, you talk to him, you just think it was an okay year, you know, and to be newcomer of the year, first team all conference, you know, he really did a great job. But the sky's the limit for him. What I'm excited about is to see his leadership, to see how he's taken over for those guys who graduated as just the leader of the group and, you know, the energy for the group. And that's been really fun, and taking those young guys underneath his wing. And that's been the biggest growth I've seen out of Greg. He's always been a great talent and a great kid, but now he's become a great leader for us and filling the void that we had in our secondary.
Did you realize he had that type of potential to have that much success that first year?
Yes, we did. We could tell when we recruited him, but just his mentality is very unique. You know, he gets on that field. He's a different guy. I know you'll probably interview him and he'll have a smile on his face and talk, but when he gets on that field, man, he's like the Incredible Hulk. Something changes in him, and that's really fun to see. So when you see a guy with that type of intensity, that type of football knowledge, that type of work ethic, you know that they can do something mixed in with the physical skill that they have, and you know, and like I said, he still feels like there's a lot more, you know, better football they can play, and as coaches, we know there's a lot more better football in them.
What are you looking for in Payne's replacement? Because he was so versatile, he could move back from corner and star and play safety there a little bit. What are some of the guys you're looking at and hoping to fill with that void?
Yeah, you know, Amici Walker's been a guy who has been able to go back and forth. He's kind of working into that role, that same role that D. Payne had. Arnold Azuna is also a guy that's able to go from corner to safety, and he's been doing a little bit of that too. And the great thing about D. Payne, he had such a high football IQ, and those two guys really embody that same type of thing, which has been really good. And it's been fun to see in 6 practices.
How have those two come along? Because Amici, I think when he walked on here was a receiver. Arnold's been more of a corner. How have they transitioned into that, and what makes them good safeties versus what they were before, especially as Arnold, a safety versus a corner?
Yeah, you know, Arnold's size, naturally, you know, he's a bigger young man. And just their football intelligence, able to move, able to cover, able to tackle, has really been some things for him. And, you know, Amici's done a great job over there. He really worked hard at corner. Great thing about Amici, he's always over in that the football building, working, asking questions, taking notes, doing those type of things. And so his learning curve is really sped up as a result of just the work that he's been putting in. So he's been doing a great job. He's been a really big surprise for us back there at safety. It's been really good.
Most of the young guys that, I mean, Lawrence and Jatarius, I mean, they're like all back from last year except for Payne, really. But it seems like the competition is like there's no spot cemented. Maybe Greg, but like Coach Campbell Smith, like that's kind of a position that people don't think of as bad as what maybe is. How wide open is it for those spots?
It's really wide open, and our goal is to keep building depth. So you know you can roll different guys in. If someone goes down, you can have the next man step up, and so there's a lot of competition. It's fun. We've been mixing, matching lineups, giving guys a lot of chances with the ones. Want to see what they got. So you know. Richard Bowen's been a guy who's been subbing in there. Naturally, Arnold, like I said, Amici, those guys have really been in there battling, working some with the ones, and it's been fun. It's fun to see what's going to shake out here at the end of 15 practices.
Last year it was kind of Brian and DeAndre. I know he kind of moved back to safety, but they were helping bring along those safeties that hadn't played a lot in the Big 12. How can they help? I know Detrone and Anthony have both played a lot, but how can they help bring those corners that are forced with filling those guys' shoes?
You know, like I said, a lot of leadership has really fell on Greg and Braxton Lewis. Really been the two leaders of both groups. You know, right now, the great thing we had is that, you know, Detrone started a whole bunch of games till he got injured and was playing great football, and we were really at our best when he was there. We moved D. Payne back to safety, and then, you know, to finish up the year, Anthony came in and really, you know, quietly played a great year at corner. I know our other freshmen got a lot of the accolades, but he did a heck of a job to step in as a true freshman in the Big 12 and play the way that he played. And I know talking to Brian, he said Anthony did things as a corner that he couldn't even do. You know, Brian got redshirted as a freshman, and Anthony stepped in as a true freshman on a really good defense. So that kind of tells you what type of player he is and the type of potential that he has. And Speedy can be one of the best corners to ever play here.
You mentioned Braxton Lewis and his leadership, but what kind of value does he bring from his skill set? Because he came in and stepped in some tight spots and performed really well.
Yeah, the great thing about Braxton, he can play all 3 safety spots back there for us. Extremely intelligent, great communicator, and has some great speed also and toughness. So his ability to play 3 different spots for us is just really invaluable to us. And he's done it throughout his career. We're trying to just get him honed in to one spot to let him be the best football player that he can be in his senior year. But his leadership mixed in with his intelligence, his communication skills, you know, for the last couple of years, he's really been a stalwart for what we have there, which is really great.
When did you see Greg first start to show kind of those leadership qualities you like? And guys need to wait their turn a little bit too, right? And you need to know your right spot. Where did that start to?
Yeah, he showed it last year, you know, and it was neat, kind of like when the bowl game ended, you know, he kind of just saw the void and stepped in there and filled it. And it's just been fun. It's always fun in this profession to see young guys come in and kind of take on those big roles and just year to year kind of progressive young man. And like I said, to see his growth as a leader and see guys hang on every word he says, it's really fun to be around. And those guys really follow him, and he's going to take us as far as we can go.